The following program is brought to you in living color on NBC.
You got the number of the station?
In this neighborhood?
Don't forget now. I'll appreciate that. Oh.
First 6 cops are on the house.
No, thanks. That's scary.
Joe? You gonna be working the beat regular?
For a while, anyway. So don't up and quit without letting me know, huh?
Oh, I know when I got a good thing. The food's terrible, the hours are awful, and the neighborhood's dangerous.
Some of us are just born winners. I was only kidding in that scene, of course, about born winners. But right now, I'd like to talk to you about some genuine winners. The new shows NBC will be bringing you this fall. I'm Lloyd Bridges, and what you just saw was a short scene from one of those new programs, Joe Forrester. I'm starring in it, and it's one of 9 brand new series on tap for the coming season. Let's get down to cases. Let's go right through the week, huh? Monday through Sunday, and see exactly what's going to make NBC's new season a super season. On Monday, viewers will do the impossible right off the bat. They'll be seeing The Invisible Man. Yep, the H.G. Wells classic now comes to the TV screen as a big weekly series. David McCallum stars as the scientist who discovers the secret of invisibility and then has to guard that secret from those who would use it for destruction.
What is this, a gag?
It's no gag. Go on, try it.
What?
Take the pen.
I don't believe it.
A disappearing pen, mightier than any sword.
You know what you got here, don't you?
There's an invisible pen.
Don't be cute. What you got here is the ultimate weapon. Dan! Dan! Dan!
All right, break it down.
Not a scientist going berserk, but a man who believes in the cause.
Where are you?
I'm here.
Come on. Where?
My God, Daniel.
You did it. You know what I remember, Daniel?
No, what?
I remember you always saying you wanted to accomplish something that no one else had. Well, my friend, congratulations.
Special effects, like nothing television has ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Close.
Open. That is great. Okay, close them.
Even a wise wife doesn't know her own husband all the time.
Danny, what's the matter?
It's a mask. These, too. I'm still invisible.
Oh, what happened?
The process is unstable. My only chance of becoming visible again is to go back, start the work over, and try and find out where I made my mistake. Now, Richard, you really had me fooled. The last person in the world I thought would sell out.
Everyone sells out. Carlson to the Pentagon, you to some outdated sense of morality, and me to money. The most honest sellout of all. He's getting out!
The Invisible Man. It gives the new season a whole new face. Following The Invisible Man, NBC's Monday night at the movies, with a great agenda of first time on TV films. Details on that a bit later. Tuesday means a new night for Moving On and a new time slot for Police Story. It also means the introduction of a new realistic law enforcement series, Joe Forrester. I play Joe Forrester, a role I had the good fortune to originate last year in an episode of Police Story. Joe is a dedicated, conscientious cop whose relationships with street people give him a valuable edge in fighting crime. How long ago did you get off that bus?
About 2 hours ago.
Where from?
Bakersfield.
And you met Plums at the bus terminal, right?
Yeah, he's been so nice.
I bet he is. Just do as I tell you. Now shut up. Put your hands back there. There are times when Joe's not thinking about crime. We got a beautiful thing going here. But there's nothing beautiful about the prospect of being gunned down by Hood.
Joan, we don't think it was a random sniping.
What are you getting at?
We want to take you off the beat.
No, damn it, no.
Is it worth your life?
The average armed robber goes a mile out of his way to avoid a cop, let alone kill one.
That's a theory I'm not quite sure is true anymore.
How can I ever face the people in my beat if I run away merely because some punk with a rifle takes a couple of shots at a blue uniform and a black and white?
Your beat, Joe?
Yeah, the neighborhood has gone downhill enough. You gotta give me half a chance to build it up again.
Your beat, huh?
Tell me, what would the department do if it found out this guy you busted bought you a new shirt?
Oh, listen, if a beat cop's gonna worry about what the department thinks, he'll never get any work done. The city's not gonna buy me a new shirt. He wrecked it, didn't he?
Yeah, he
Well,
did.
then he's gonna have to come up with a 2640. And that doesn't mean that I won't bust him again if I have to.
And he tears up another shirt.
And he pays for another shirt. That's the beat.
Hey, what, are you nuts?
How you doing there, old buddy?
You should have seen the one I did over the Chevy.
Mind if I give it a try?
All right. A car?
Oh, wow, you don't mean you're here to say hello and goodbye all at the same time.
Maybe not. Maybe I'll be back. A lot of people around here seem to think that I'm needed. Kind of like the idea of having an officer in the beat. Gives them a feeling of security, they say.
Hey, you know what? You promise us you'll try to get back here? Because if you don't, it'll be a damn shame. You made a difference.
Joe Forrester, the kind of cop on the beat who really makes a difference. Comes Wednesday, an evening that begins and ends with hit shows that made their debuts last season. The night starts with Little House on the Prairie, the enormously successful series about a family of American pioneers. It finishes with Petrocelli. Petrocelli, the Eastern Law School graduate who brings his big city toughness and compassion to a town in the Southwest. In between these established favorites, a brand new, powerful drama series called Doctor's Hospital. A large, modern hospital may look complex and impersonal, but in reality, it's a place where human emotions can be observed on their most revealing level. The chief neurosurgeon at this hospital is George Papard. He's just as tough and as able as he looks.
Dr. Madison, do you realize that surgery on these lesions is difficult and subject to high risk? I do, sir. And you still recommend it? I do. So do I.
Some differences of medical opinion are more than academic.
Are you for real, Moresby? Do you intend to let that man open Hollander's head?
Why not? I feel more than confident that you have some hand-picked resident who is eminently qualified to do the actual cutting under von Schulteis's supervision.
You mean ghost surgery?
I mean nothing of the kind. It's common practice. You yourself permit students to operate under your supervision.
There's a considerable difference. I'm ready to step in case there's a problem. Who's going to step in for von Schulteis?
How's his respiration?
Seems to be satisfactory. His mother mentioned a recent viral infection. What can you tell me about it?
Nothing. I'm afraid I haven't seen Mrs. Simon in some time.
But you must have seen your son. Sorry, Jake. Now you know why I never joined the diplomatic corps.
Every week I make myself a promise. And every week I wind up sending another toy.
She's straight line again.
Damn! Light, Doctor. How long?
52 minutes.
Okay, pack it up. Whose little girl were you?
I wonder if you have any idea what sort of reputation you command outside the walls of Lowell Memorial.
I imagine I'm regarded as an opinionated, tactless, all-around pain in the butt.
One way to put off an operation, hide the patient.
Use your imagination. It's a big hospital. But you can bet your bippy they're going to turn upside down trying to find him. Now, where'd the last place be they check?
Pediatrics ward.
You got it. If anybody objects, tell them we ran out of bed space in ICU. Okay?
Doctor, you'll pardon me for saying this, but aren't you putting your rear end in the ringer?
Well, better my rear end in the ringer than a corpse on the autopsy table.
You know, I always wondered what it was that was consuming and spending you.
This is it, lady. Please schedule Dr. Hollander for surgery as soon as possible. See how soon you can book me a room.
All right.
In the meantime, if anybody wants me, I'm with my son.
Oh, Dr. Goodwin, we all got the good word about David. God sure must have been looking.
He does. Sometimes.
Doctor's Hospital, with George Papard in the most demanding role of his career. Now, Thursday night on NBC will be truly unique. All of its programs are absolutely new, all four of them. And as the tasty antipasto for the whole evening, what could be more appropriate than the Montefuscos? 3 generations of an Italian-American family gathering once a week under the same roof.
Why should I worry you?
Because you're the world's champion at that, Ma. Now, what is it? I mean, he doesn't drink that much. He doesn't gamble that much. He doesn't run around with... Ma, he doesn't...
Frank, at his age, he hardly runs around with me.
Ma, this ain't like he's got tickets to the Super Bowl. This is a terrible thing.
All the more reason that you make believe that you know nothing about it.
Make believe?
Yes, so that when he tells us that he's dying, we can all act like it's a big surprise.
Papa Montefusco, the patriarch who loves till it hurts.
Muncie's here. Sit down. Hey, Pop. Anybody invite Buck Rogers? I ain't taking it off until you promise not to hit me for being late, Pop. Did you hear that? A 25-year-old Casanova, and he's afraid his father's gonna hit him, huh? Hey, I thought you said you wanted to hit me. How can a dying man sit and eat like that in front of his whole family? God, you for that soul? I didn't want me to hurt you.
Where there's a will, there's a nervous family.
There will be no reading of the will.
Actually, I think you should read it. Well, actually, like your father, I was thinking about the legal ramifications. It's got nothing to do with my desire for money. My collection of Enrico Caruso opera records and all my personal religious objects, such as my crucifix, my rosary beads, my full-color pictures of all the popes, will go to my daughter Angelina Sofia Montefusco Cody. What do you say, Ange? The watch for the albums? All right. You can have the beads and the pictures, too. Hey!
Wait a minute. Hey, Joey, I'll give you the fishing tackle for the wine press. Ange, you want the watch? You got it. You got the album.
All right.
Jimbo, you keep the beads, eh? You want the picture, Joe? The picture? You got it. And for the wine press, I've got a bowling ball and the bocce ball.
No, Frank, I want to keep the bocce ball for the children.
You got it.
You got what? You got, he got, she got, my, what is this? Let's make a deal.
Let's get this over with. Not another word out of anybody.
Philomena's getting the money.
Philomena is not getting the money.
This is my will. That means it's the law.
Good. After you're dead and you find out I'm not giving her the money. Call a cop!
There's never a menu and never a law. That's the Montefuscos. And the laughs don't stop after dinner either, because that's when we meet Faye. Faye, played by the very talented Lee Grant, is a gal in her 40s whose marriage is broken up. Now she's trying to carve a new life for herself. That's not always easy. But when it's Faye, it's always funny.
Thank you. Thank you. It was a wonderful weekend. It was like...
Special.
Special.
An ex-husband can be exasperating.
Well, I'm not surprised. It was bound to happen sooner or later. I guess I was just hoping it would be later. After all, we've only been separated a few months.
10.
I guess I just don't consider it the most dignified thing in the world at this time.
Well, I suppose your having an affair while we were married was.
Well, that's different, Faye.
Faye, do you think there's a conspiracy among the lawyers of this firm to treat me like dirt?
No doubt.
Aha! That's what I was afraid of. That means that they're doing it individually on their own initiative.
Jack. How are you?
Oh, boy, you just love it, don't you? Love that Fay and I are split, and you came over here to gloat.
Yeah, what are you doing here anyway, Jack? Did your girlfriend have cheerleading practice?
You're not 25, you know.
Well, I feel like it. Of course, I wished I looked like it, too. Hello, Linda. How are you?
Oh, Mother, that's nice. That's really nice. And what am I going to tell your cute little grandson when he asks about Nana?
Tell him Nana's getting it on.
Hi. Don't shut the door. This is my daughter, Linda, and my son-in-law, Elliot, who is just leaving. Now, okay, children, I understand that you have to go. I'm certain that Bill will, too, that Elliot, being a doctor, cannot call his life his own. When there's an emergency, there's an emergency. A facelift of his just fell. He has to go pick it up.
Advice is not only cheap, it's overabundant.
Look, Bill is considerate, good-looking, smart. Marry him.
Don't marry him. Live together.
I'd much rather own it than lease it.
Bill, a month after I separated from Jack, I went to a party alone. Lillian forced me to go. She stuck false eyelashes on me. She pushed me out the door. I was terrified. I'd always gone to parties as Jack's wife. And that's all I've ever been, is Jack's wife. Nobody's ever called on me. But that night, I had to talk, and I could. And people actually listened and were interested. I felt like Scarlett O'Hara. It was wonderful. It was just too soon. I need to feel like Scarlett O'Hara some more.
Join Lee Grant as she waits around for Rhett Butler on Fay. Next, a fateful night in 1947, a lovely woman with her last ounce of strength crawls across the floor of her apartment to leave a mysterious clue to her killer's identity. It's a puzzle that cries out for Ellery Queen. One of fiction's most celebrated detectives becomes a Thursday night regular on NBC. Jim Hutton is Ellery. David Wayne, his father, Inspector Queen.
Almost as far-fetched as one of your books. A dying clue, which makes absolutely no sense. Which means, of course, it's right up your alley.
A series that never runs out of thrills or suspects.
You ever see one of those things before?
Yeah, a few.
Damn nuisance. A friend of mine has one. People keep dropping in.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about it. It's just a passing fad.
It's really very simple. I make it a point to be observant and to pay attention to details. Good night.
Son, you forgot your glasses.
A lot of robberies in that building.
I didn't kill her.
Yeah, but the police will think you did.
I didn't kill her.
Now, that's where I can help you. But you're going to have to tell me the truth, and you're going to have to admit that those are potent sleeping pills.
Maybe, but they make for pretty lousy coffee.
Ellery, give it up. The case is closed. Ramon even saved us the cost of a trial.
He didn't kill her.
What?
It's taken me this long, Dad, but I finally figured it out.
Ellery.
The solution. The end of the case. It'll come at 10:25 tonight.
You're saying...
I know who killed Monica Gray. Dad, I'll make you breakfast. Do you know who killed Monica Gray? If you've been watching closely, you have all the information you need. Monica was dying. She looked up, and what did she see staring her in the face on her television set? The sun. S-U-N, but also S-O-N. And remember, Monica liked word games. Simple process of elimination. Gail had no motive, so let's talk about the McKell family. Father, alibi. Mother, alibi. But son...
No alibi. Out walking. That's why she pulled the plug on the clock. She wanted us to know what was on television at exactly 10:25. The son, Tom McKell. Nice piece of deduction, Queen. You know, when the dust settles from this, we really must have lunch. With the publicity from this, there's no question that you and I...
Right. Thank you, everybody. Come on, Dad, let's go home.
Well, I can't. We've got to go down to Gramercy Park. Somebody just murdered a millionaire art collector. Just your kind of case, Ellery.
Good night, Dad.
Really very strange. 30 paintings in the house, all of them turned to the wall.
See you at breakfast.
What harm would it do to take a look?
Did you say 30 paintings turned to the wall?
Yeah. This season, match wits with the matchless Ellery Queen. The curtain closer on Thursday's all-new lineup, Medical Story, an anthology series, meaning a different cast and a different story each week, but each drama built around a provocative medical theme.
The nuclear technician says she hasn't finished the series yet.
No more tests today. She's exhausted.
But Dr. Nolan said...
If Dr. Nolan wants to order any more tests, he'll have to schedule them later. Lie down.
Do you think...
Quiet now. I want you to get some sleep.
There's more than one kind of bedside manner.
You're sentimental. I'm not sentimental. You're sentimental. If you can face your own mortality, then you are different than anybody I've ever met.
What? Dr. Reber, okay, what do you think?
Well, everything you've said is definitely correct, Vic. You're going to be a very good doctor. Everything you do is by the book, and you're very careful. But I think if I were a patient and needed help, I'd prefer a doctor like Ducker here.
Have you told Fritzie the real consequences of this operation? Did you tell her she may be going through the emotions of a woman of 45 at menopause at 22? Did you tell her this could affect her sex life? I'll tell you who's going to tell her. Nobody.
Not even young anymore, you know?
What are you talking about? You're 22 years old.
Yeah, but it's like I'm an old person. Everyone treats me like I'm a delicate old lady. Just a very delicate, frail old lady. If it can make me young again, if it can give me my life again outside of the small, dark hospital room, then I'll do it.
Honor among doctors? No, not always.
How do I know that Dr. Nolan isn't right? He's a good doctor. He has a good background. I haven't been deeply into all this, except for your analysis.
I see. Yeah. We're all members of the same club. There are certain things that we don't do, even if a person's life is at stake.
I can't justify leaving in a diseased organ like that. With the information we have around here, it'd be a tough dissection. Poker claims. Nets?
If we give her a high dosage of antibiotics and close, it's no disgrace to have taken a look and closed.
Nets.
What are you trying to say to us, Dr. Ducker?
I'm trying to say to you that we took this young girl into surgery, Dr. Nolan and I. And we killed her.
We should ask for your license. How dare you talk to me that way? Any of you. Who do you think you're talking to? Some nurse or some intern who doesn't know about anything? I know just what's been swept under the carpet around here. How many of you have never made out a prescription or ordered a lab test which would boost your fees, huh? How many of you have never performed an operation when there was no clear reason that it would do any good?
All right, I'm fired. But I'm still going to be a doctor. And if I can't do it here, then I'll do it at a hospital not as good. And if I can't do it at a hospital not as good, then I'll find some other way. Maybe I'll be the kind of doctor that you wanted to be once.
NBC's newest dramatic series, and it's going to make television history. Medical Story. On Friday, a glittering procession of 4 returning hits. Red Fox and Demond Wilson in Sanford & Son. Jack Albertson and Freddie Prinze in Chico and the Man. James Garner in The Rockford Files. And Angie Dickinson, Policewoman. Every one of them outstandingly popular this past season. And for good reason. Then the weekend gets underway with Jack Webb's tremendously popular action series, Emergency, followed by NBC's Saturday Night at the Movies. This season, on Saturday night and Monday night at the movies, NBC will be outdoing itself in its selection of hit motion pictures that have never before been seen on TV. Omar Sharif and Julie Christie in Dr. Zhivago, winner of 6 Academy Awards. Jack Lemmon and Catherine Deneuve, lovers in and the April Fools. A movie version of Broadway's Tony Award-winning musical 1776. An all-star cast in The Last of Sheila. Barbara Streisand and George Segal in The Owl and the Pussycat. Plus, John Wayne in Rio Lobo. Charles Bronson as the Stone Killer. And Burt Lancaster in The Midnight Man. Also prominent in the new schedule, NBC's world premiere movies like Dark Victory, Elizabeth Montgomery and Anthony Hopkins in a new 3-hour version of the romantic classic. Dr. Sam, George Papard as the real-life doctor accused of his wife's murder. Widow, Michael Leonard in the adaptation of the bestseller about a woman suddenly facing life alone. And The Silence, Richard Thomas in the true story of a West Point cadet's ordeal at the hands of his classmates. The world premiere movies are, of course, brand new feature films made expressly for TV. And the New Year's attractions look very impressive. On Sunday, The Wonderful World of Disney, as wonderful as ever, will open the evening at a new time. Also at a new time is Sunday Mystery Movie, which will present an exciting addition to the rotating roster of Columbo, McCloud, and Macmillan and Wife. The newcomer is McCoy, starring Tony Curtis. More about that one in a minute. But in between Disney and Mystery Movie, you'll be seeing the debut of another fine NBC series, Holdback. It stars Glenn Ford, Julie Harris, and a marvelous young actor named Lance Kerwin, who plays their 13-year-old son, Rainey. A small southern town in the early 1940s, and the preacher is Holdback. He's really not the hero type, but the right-thinking people in town and his family, especially his young son, will tell you Holdback is a very special man.
Can I see that rifle, son? Now, you know, I think people can make just about anything, good or bad. Now, you take this rifle here. It can be used to get food for the table, or it can be used for something else, you know, to kill a man. Or it can be used the way you used it today, to kill animals that you don't need to kill.
Occasionally, a dare comes very nicely packaged.
I bet you're scared to touch me where I'm pointing. Look where.
What happened today, I don't think you have any reason to be ashamed about. You see, Ramey, what you got to realize is that everything you do isn't apt to send you right down to hell. Suppose we get this milk in before we get in Dutch with your mom.
How do you inspire faith when your own is so shaky?
You know, all during that revival meeting, I felt like a fool. Here I was telling people they needed more faith when all they really needed was a good meal.
You're giving them faith they need sorely.
Well, I tell you, I wish somebody had a little extra to give me.
Ramey Holdback, a boy suddenly coming of age.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Now, would you tell us what you saw?
I saw Hog Yancey smash things up in Mr. Goodlow's store. They had that trial with Hog.
I heard.
He gets out today. They're going to take his badge away from him. Pa, you ain't scared of Hog Yancey, are you?
No, son. I ain't scared of Hog Yancey.
Turning the other cheek. A noble idea, but not always practical.
Well, now you get out, preacher. Oh, come on, I don't want to hurt you.
Well, I don't aim to let you do that, Hog. Now, you get out.
Pa? I'm really obliged to you for doing what you done today. Talking to me the way you did.
Well, I'm glad you told me, son. But I don't think there's anything that you and me and the Lord can't work out between us, you know.
Holback, the father every kid wants. The father that young Ramey Holback has. Then, as we've said, comes NBC's Sunday mystery movie with this year's exciting edition, McCoy. Tony Curtis, one of Hollywood's most versatile stars, is McCoy, a lovable con man who spends half his life chasing the loan shark from his door.
When?
When what?
When do I get my 30,000?
When I get it.
Smile, Mrs. Bishop. You're being kidnapped.
Well, now look at here. Look at the bag when she came out of the cellar. It was stuffed, full. What'd she have in it? Mice?
What could it be? I give up. What's in it?
I think it's the ransom money. Look, I've got a shot at a big score. You want in?
How big?
Very.
I'm in.
What's in it for you?
20% of $500,000 if and when I recover it. Sir, your heroism should not go unrewarded.
Oh, no money,
Please, sir, my card.
Oh, Colonel Orville J. Gimbling. Frank Darnell, sir.
Frank Darnell, attorney at law.
Yes. I don't know.
Where are the boys?
Where are you from?
Come to lay low.
Come on, baby.
Yes.
Mr. Peabody.
Sir?
I'm Jefferson Tate. I really didn't expect to find you here yet. I'm a bit early. I'd like to prowl around the property alone for a bit before I listen to a hard sell from a real estate agency. Wait in the car, Peter. I want to see the living room.
Let me show you the billiard room first.
Fine.
Oh, don't let us disturb you. Please continue with your game.
Do the servants go with the place?
They're not servants, Mr. Tate. They're the neighbors.
I think you're right, Mr. Peabody. This place is not for us.
I have a house in Pasadena. Capitano.
Buongiorno.
I'm Commander Haversack.
There is some trouble.
Oh, no. It's purely precautionary. May I speak to you privately? Excuse us. I don't want the men to panic. But you see, there's been an outbreak of black leg on several of the tankers in the area. Black leg? Monotoxicosis, it's called.
Excellent. Shall we meet at the City Bank? Safe Deposit Department 230?
Mr. Darnell, I'll be there with my $1 million.
And I'll be there with my $500,000, Colonel.
He bit. Well, what are you so gloomy about?
I'm not gloomy, I'm just thoughtful.
We have to come up with $1 million in cash in 1 hour.
Miss Bishop.
I'll put him back on the night shift. There's no... McCoy!
Well, shall we begin?
McCoy, I warned you the next time I caught you in this bank, I'd throw you out personally.
McCoy? I thought his name was Gemberling.
Is that what he told you?
I'll probably resemble some local personality.
Shut up, McCoy. Aren't you Mrs. C.J. Bishop?
Yes.
And I'm her attorney. Now, what seems to be the problem here?
What's in that drag?
It's private and confidential.
There's supposed to be $1 million in cash in there, and I'd like to see it.
You said $1 million in cash, Mrs. Bishop?
You crook. You creep.
You swindlers.
Take my advice and get yourself a good attorney. Come on,
Come on, Brenda.
Oh, I almost forgot.
What?
So McCoy survives another squeaker.
Do me a favor, will you, McCoy? Will you hold on to it for a few hours?
Oh, you can bet on that shit.
Oh, I'll take some of that action.
You're on. Good evening, gentlemen. Oh, a game of chance, I see.
We have room for another hand, pal.
Oh, thank you. Well, deal me in.
Tony Curtis, a charming gambler, in a brand new series that's really no gamble at all. And that wraps up the week. It also wraps up this brief sampling of what NBC's new schedule is all about. As an actor, I'm delighted to be a part of the new lineup. I think it's one of the strongest and most exciting schedules that any network has ever assembled. As a viewer, well, I'm pretty happy about the whole thing, too, because the new schedule demonstrates variety as well as quality, a combination that has to mean very special viewing enjoyment. So, Until the start of the new season, when I hope we'll be looking at each other across a very crowded living room, so long. The pleasure's been all mine.
We got a super season on NBC. Super season.